Okay, so you all should have the toy car up, right? My wheels are yellow. That's bad. I'm going to get rid of the yellow wheels. So where are they? What's that? The rims? Yeah. So I need to take, do you guys have color on anything?
No.
Okay, so I need to remove color from all of mine so that I'm in the same spot as you. To rid of that one. Okay. All right. So your vehicle, your Lego vehicle, should be completely blah, right? Everybody's Lego car should look like this. No color, no personality. We're going to be adding some personality. All right. One of the things you should be familiar with rendering, it's the idea, the objective of rendering is to create something that looks, quote, photorealistic. The idea is to make an image that looks like it's a real part. All right, that's the goal. This is seriously important in Silicon Valley, where people are like doing crowdfunding and startups. And so they'll place rendering up on Kickstarter, and people will think like it's a real product and throw money at them. Okay? So a lot of companies out there want people who know how to do renderings, because that's how they're going to get people to invest in their ideas, even though they don't have a real product yet. Okay? Now, one of the things you need before you can start is you need to have Photo View 360 available. You'll notice that I do not have Photo 360 available on my menu. Do you see that? Okay, so we need to, remember how we brought the toolbox in and we added it in? We're going to do the same thing with Photo View 360. We're going to bring it in or add it in so that we can get to all the tools that you would use for rendering. So if you go to Tools, scroll all the way down to Add-ins. Okay, so can you find Add-ins under your Tools menu? And normally I don't have that loaded because the Photo View takes up a lot of space and memory, because it's dealing with, obviously, you know, rendering, which is pretty memory intensive. So can you locate Photo View 360 in your add-ins and put a check there? Now, if you put a check on this side, that's going to make it active now. If you put a check on this side, it will make it active anytime you open up SolidWorks. For those people on laptops, if you want to make it as a default always loaded, keeping in mind that if it always loads, it's going to be it's going to slow you down. All right? So, was there anybody who was not able to locate Photo View 360 in their Tools Add-ins menu? Is there anybody who needs assistance from the fabulous Mr. Ron? Okay, and then you're going to say, okay. There'll be a brief pause while the SolidWorks viewer, gremlins, hamsters, go out and get the Photo View 360 menu, and then you should see Photo View 360 up there in your menu. Do you all see it? Okay. So that's going to be your Photo View 360 tools. Notice I've got render tools here. The render tools are the same tools here that I would have under Photo View 360. So you can have it as a ribbon or as part of your menu. Do you see that? Is there anybody lost? Needing help? Okay, so we're going to start by looking at the tire. Now we can apply materials at the part level, or we can assign materials inside the assembly to different parts. You can do it more than one way. So I'm going to show you more than one way to do it. And then you do it the way that feels good to you, right? Y'all going to come up with your own style. All right, so locate the TC tire in here, and notice we've got 4 tires because it's a 4-wheeled vehicle, right? And you can highlight the tire in here, not the rim, the tire, and just select open part. So we're going to open just the tire. And you should have just the tire open. Okay? Is there anybody who was not able to open the tire and needs help? No laughing. It's okay. If you need help, do not be embarrassed. Ron will help you. He's eager to do so. Okay, we're going to add some material onto the part. So remember, we have resource panel over here. And the appearances are where that little color beach ball icon is. So we click on that little beach ball. We're going to bring it out a little bit. We're going to click on appearances. We're going to go to plastic, textured. And then we're going to locate the PW-MT11010. So if you scroll down, 010. This one right here. Now to add that to the part, it's really difficult. What you do is you put your mouse over the material, double left click your mouse button. Was that hard? So you locate this material and then you just double left click on it and that adds it to the part. Was that good? Yeah. Was there anybody who was not able to add the material to your tire? Okay, now I want you to, if you expand this pane, if you click on this little up-down arrow, notice it shows you the color of the material that's been assigned, and it's assigned it up at the part level. Do you see that? Everybody see it? Okay. So we can close this, okay? It'll ask you if you want to save it. You can say yes. And notice that it looks like with the material. And notice that we only had to add it to one tire. It's the same part 4 times. So all 4 tires got the appearance. Do you see that? All right.
Mine failed to save.
Sorry?
Mine failed to save because it's an older file.
Right. You need to save it onto your, do a save as to your flash drive, to your, okay? And it should save. Okay? Everybody good? Anybody else needing help?
Sorry, quick question. It applied material to all the wheels because you had made copies of...
Because it's the same wheel 4 times. It's the same part. See that? So it's the same part, it's just in there 4 times. So if I change it on one tire, it's going to change all 4 tires. Got it? Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to add yellow to these rims. Our rims are right here. Notice our rims right here? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to locate medium gloss plastic. So let's go to the medium gloss folder. So you want to locate medium gloss up here in the browser, or not in the browser.
Oh, the whole thing.
We're in the assembly.
Yeah.
You want to be in the medium gloss folder, and you want to locate the yellow medium gloss plastic. Everybody find it? Yeah. Now we want to add that to the wire rims. This is a little more tricky because we're doing it inside of the assembly. Notice for the part, all you had to do was open the part, locate the material you wanted, and double click, and that applies it to the whole part. But if we want to do it inside the assembly, we have to make sure that we're only applying it to a single part in the assembly. You want to watch me. What I do is I hold down my left mouse button, I drag it over to the rim, and notice it says, do you want to place it? See this little drop down? It asks me, do you want to place it on the rim, or do you want to place it on the assembly? Or do you want to place it on one of the features of the rim? And we want to place it on the rim. So notice there's a little thing here that looks like a little part symbol. You want to select the part symbol, and it gives you a little tooltip that says TC rim. Do you see that? So just click on the part, and notice all 4 parts will update with yellow.
It don't have to be yellow, right?
No, you can follow Ron's instruction and pick a different material. Okay? Is there anybody who needs help applying a material to the tire rims? Okay. Okay. Look at that. Yeah, remove all the parents.
That photo that's in the file, is that a rendering, or is that?
The photo is an image, is like a picture, and we're going to use it as background. So it's going to be used it's going to be scenery.
Okay, but the truck in that photo
is part of the picture, is part of the photograph.
Right, it's an actual truck.
Yeah. Okay, so we want to open the TC_chassis part. That's this part right here. It's the very first one. That's the main body of our car. So we want to open that up. Okay, so everybody has this TC chassis. Everybody got that open? Okay, now in this portion of the fabulous entertainment for the evening, what we're going to do is we're going to put one material on the part and one material just on the letters. So you can have a part that's kind of a mix, right? So if you just wanted to have one feature on the part to like pop with a different color, you can do that. All right?
We don't have TC chassis.
So if you remove all of it, click on the TC chassis, we got remove all of
Well, it's not on the chassis, it's on yeah, for now. For now.
Is it what you want to do today? Have something down. That's amazing. All right. Otherwise,
No matter what, he's on his flash drive. Because it's got a lot more force.
yes. You can't, man. Those little die. The rest of the you want me to show This funny, all those transparent. You can't even show them.
Okay, so we're going to do one color on the Lego brick and one color on the numbers. We're going to go back to the medium gloss. Alright, so we're on the medium gloss folder. We're going to drop the black medium gloss right here. And again, like Ron says, you don't have to use the same colors. And what we want to do is we want to drag and drop it to where it says Boss Extrude 1. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take the black medium gloss and you're just going to drag and drop it onto the 01 extrude. See that? See how it kind of highlights for you? And that changed just the text to 01. Do you see that? Okay. And then if you double left click the red medium gloss, it applies red to everything except for the Boss extrude. Do you see that? Okay, so notice if once again I expanded this panel, notice I've got red on the part, but I've got black on my Boss extrude. Do you see that?
So essentially, did everything that wasn't already defined.
Right. Now what we want to do is we want to, now if we want to make it pop, notice we've got like inside faces here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this face, see how it kind of highlights? I'm going to hold down the control key, select this face. What I want to do is I want to kind of make it pop. So I'm just selecting these inside faces. For some reason, I thought I had control down. That one. So I'm selecting just the inside faces here. See that? And the inside faces there. And I'm just holding down my control key so I can make multiple selections. Hard because it keeps giving me dimensions and I don't want it to give me dimensions. There we go, got that one. Normally I don't do this part simply because it's so challenging. So I just have these inside dimensions.
it to give you the dimension?
I wish I knew. I'm sure there's a way. Can I say uncheck annotations? Yeah. I'm going to uncheck annotations under view so it doesn't show me stuff. Okay, that kind of, yeah, it still showed me stuff. Yeah, okay, so I got those inside or most of the inside faces, not all of them. No, I don't. I wish I did. I don't have it with me. I could also do filter so that it only selects faces. That's another way to do it. So I can use my filter. That works. Filter for face right here. The one that normally bugs you, now it comes in handy. I don't know, because it might be hard to figure out which ones are the inside. I think that would be really confusing. So, let's see. Okay, so actually having the filter work pretty well. Okay, so I got all my inside faces. And then I just come back over to my resource panel and I double click my white medium gloss plastic. And that gives me, see how it gives me this white in there to kind of make a little pop a little more. See that? Missing that one. And it just gives it a little more emphasis. See that? Okay, so now once you've got your white in there and your black in there and your red in there and it's looking pretty good, now is when we're going to look to see what it would be like if we actually rendered it. So first you want to do is you want to, you want to kind of pose your block, and it doesn't look very nice up here on the projector, but actually on my monitor it looks pretty good. And I'm sure you're seeing the same, that on your monitor it doesn't look that bad. So the first thing you want to do is you want to kind of pose your block You know, just like you would be posing a model, so kind of position it in a way that is appealing to you. And notice how most of the times when you're doing a photograph of, for example, a car, you're doing this kind of view where you can see kind of the front of the car and the side of the car, kind of elongates the body of the car. So it's that kind of pose that you want to do with it, all right? And then you want to do the preview window right here on your render tools. Everybody locate it? You want to click on that? There's a slight pause as SolidWorks, you know, tries to figure out what it is that it's trying to render. You get this little window come up, and it's going to do a little rendering. Now, when you do your rendering in class, what I recommend is that try and find a computer that nobody's sitting at. Have that computer doing the work of the rendering. That way you're not sitting there watching it, because it's kind of like watching paint dry. Not very much fun. It's magic time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Pixel by pixel.
It's like a little snow globe. It's 88 outside, it's like 108 in here. Sorry? So we shook up the snow globe. This is what we see. Now this is render preview, and you see how long it's taking, so rendering actually takes considerably longer. And we're only doing one part, and 3 materials. Sorry, what?
Is that because you have less on your laptop, or?
It's just, it takes that long. Well, I mean, I have a CAD system at home that's pretty powerful, and it's like really fast on that. But part of it is that it's a laptop. Part of it is that I'm recording this for you guys. So yeah, so I've got the video thing recording the lecture, so that's part of it too. So what it's doing is it's calculating light, refraction, shadows, You know, it's looking at the materials. You can see there's a little bit of shadow there. I don't know, are your computers done? Is your rendering done? Yeah, you're done? You guys done? Is everybody's rendering done? No? Ron, is everybody's rendering done?
Yes.
So yeah? I'm going to be like the last one standing. What do you think of your rendering previews? Does it look like a real piece of Lego to you? Pretty close. Pretty close. Would it convince you to invest in Lego? Okay, I'm going to close mine down, so in the interest of time. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to notice we've got a little tab here that's for appearances, right? You see that in your browser? So I want you to click on the little appearance tab, and notice that it shows us history. It shows black medium gloss, and it shows what it's on. It shows red medium gloss on the chassis, and it shows the white medium gloss on all the different faces I picked. You see that? Okay, now I can also, it shows me the history. So see how it says sort order history? So it shows it in the order that I picked things. Do you see that? So if I want to also do it by hierarchy, notice it goes by face, then features, then part. So it looks at what was applied to the face, what was applied to features, what was applied to part. You see that? So you can organize things. And then you can also do it by alphabetical, and then it's alphabetical is by what the material or the color is called. You see that? So there are different ways for you to kind of see how things got applied. Okay, so we can go ahead and close this part now. And you'll notice that it has kept its appearance. It looks very fabulous, right? All right, and now we're going to select the TC axle. So we're going to select the two axles here, and I'm holding down my control key. The TC dash, so I'm holding that, and the TC seat. So I've got 4 parts highlighted. Notice I just selected the control key to select them. Was everybody able to see that and do that? Okay. The dash and the seat. And we're going to add the light gray medium gloss. So we're going to come over here, locate the light gray medium gloss, and just double left click it, and that will assign that color to those 4 parts. And if you're not sure, remember you can expand this tab and you can see that it's got color applied to it. Do you see that? So now we're in the assembly. Before, when we were looking at the hierarchy, we were looking at the part. Do you remember that? If you go to the Appearance tab, notice if you select hierarchy, it goes by components, by face, by features, by part. So it shows you which components and which parts. See that? See how it's kind of organizing things? Okay, so now we're going back to the top. We're going to open up the TC seat. So you're going to open up the seat. Ta-da! All right, we got no appearances. Notice we just have this color here, right? If we click on the Appearance tab, it doesn't show any appearances, I don't think. Yep, see, no appearances, right? Even though, you assigned something to the seat last time? Was that one of the things? Yeah, because that was applied in the assembly. So we can have the seat with one color as the part and a different color inside the assembly. So that's why. Okay? But we can add a decal. Ooh. So notice our decal is right here. Do you see right here this little thing that says decal? So I click on decal. That's the second tab. And we can go to Open Decal Library. And it shows us all sorts of decals. Now you guys do not have to be limited to the decals that come in SolidWorks. I'm going to show you how to use your own image. Sorry?
I was going to ask you that question.
Okay, so you can create anything that's a JPEG or a BMP or a GIF you can use. Okay, so what you do is you start by placing just a regular decal, and I just drag and drop it. Okay, and then notice it says right here image file path. Do you see that? Okay, and do you see the button that says browse? Okay, so you click on browse. Okay.
This operation is mechanical and serious and effective.
Sorry?
Computers will have
Sure, it's a cool idea and concept.
You should be able to get pictures.
Click OK, and we'll drive it from there.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to find a picture.
All you guys got all these pictures on your flash.
Okay, so there's my son at the beach. He's a surly teen. This is his natural facial expression.
When he's looking at you or
Just in general. Just in general. He just walks around like that.
I get that too.
Okay, so you can see, you can change the size. Notice it's got little grips at the end so you can make it bigger if you want. Right? You can also adjust it using mapping. So for example, I can fit the width to the selection or fit the height to the selection. See that? Depending on the face that I picked. I can rotate it, so if I want to change it so it's upside down or backwards or whatever, I can do that. If I decide I don't like that picture, I can go and I can browse for different pictures. Sure, why not? Gotta go find one. Where's my horse? Where are my horses? There's my horses. See, there they are. He looks excited. Yeah. Sorry?
The little options down below. Mask, no mask, image mask.
I found it closer to that.
On the left, lower.
Where? Oh, no mask, image mask, selective color mask. This is like if you want to like something like a background behind your photo. So to kind of give it pop for texture or whatever. Okay, so you pick a picture. I don't care which picture you pick. Then you're gonna place it. You're gonna orient it, and you can use any image pretty much that you want. Okay. And then if you close it, close the file, ask you if you want to save. Save it to your E drive. Notice that the picture is still there. So now my horse can drive his little Lego car. I mean, what kind of horse? Oh no, he's a Peruvian Paso. So notice I've got a horse there, I've got my decal there, and notice when I orbit around, the decal pretty much stays with the face that it's placed on. So it always maintains. Okay.
So that decal will take whatever shape you put it on?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, so if you wrap it along this, like if you wanted to wrap it on a cylindrical face.
It'll pick that up?
Yeah, so if I wanted to, let me open this one up. So if I wanted to wrap a picture like on here, okay, so I go edit decal, and let me locate my decal.
The face defines the limit, so it'll automatically crop it to that.
Right, so it's going to kind of adjust it.
Yeah.
So let's see, what have I got? So nope. I'll get rid of that decal. Okay. So if I wrap it to this cylinder, for example, see how it wraps around it? Okay. So see that?
It's not going flat.
So if you have something like that, can you bond the color breaks to front and back, or?
Well, yeah, you would do that using your mapping. So you would edit the decal, and you would look at the mapping here. See, so I could adjust the angle. See that? Or adjust the size. See that? So you kind of, so you can make so you can play around with it and make adjustments to it. Pretty cool, yeah. Yeah. You gotta play around with it. Okay. So now I'm going to close this. So notice if I put the decal on one part, the other part will also have it. So, you know, if you have multiple parts. And notice I can have two different decals. You can have as many decals as you want. You can have the sticker all over the place.
On the part level, that would carry it all the way through all
Yeah, right. If you place it on a part, it's going to be on every part. So if you don't want it on every part, then save it as unique part. Okay.
Do a save.
You do a save as, right, or save as copy. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to pose our model, and we want to pose it by creating different camera views. All right. So we're going to come back over to our Appearance tab, and notice our third tool right here is a little movie camera. Do you see it? So we're going to click on the movie camera. Okay, and see where it says camera? It shows me one camera, right? And I can right click on camera and go add camera. You can have as many cameras as you want. Okay, so I right click on the camera, I go add camera, and it gives me two views. One view shows me what the camera is looking at, and the other view window lets me adjust where the camera is. So notice here's my camera over here. Watch the window on the right as I move my camera around. See that? So you can adjust your view accordingly. See that? And then once you've got a view that you like, just hit green check, and notice I've got this camera, and you can name your cameras. So I can call this like back view, and then you can activate the camera you wanna see. Okay, so click on that view. That shows me that view. And if I click on this one and I say show camera view, it shows me that camera view. Nice? So you can have as many different views as you want. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at different scenes. So if you click on your appearance right here and you click on scenes, we have different presentation scenes, we have studio scenes, we have basic scenes. So you can scroll down, locate a scene you like. If you double left click it, it basically will apply that scene to your view. Hear that? So pick a scene you like.
Maybe you're on the same camera that you're moving, the same picture.
Is that cool?
Two views.
How do you move?
How do you move it?
I want to put it on the ground.
So you're going to have to adjust the camera. So you click on edit camera and then adjust it until you see it looking the way you want. See that?
The car itself isn't on the floor. It looks like we're covering. Yeah, it looks like it's covering just a little bit.
Right. So it takes a little bit of. Notice I just adjusted my camera until it looked like it was on the floor. So yeah, there's some smoke and mirrors here. See that? Cool? Now, if you want to change your picture, a lot of people were wanting to know how do they change their picture. Okay, we can adjust our picture to edit the scene and add different backgrounds. So like I've seen, like one of the students did a little Wally the robot, and he did a scene on the moon with the robot in the background for his renderings. So you can, so I've done a few, like a meadow, and I've put the product out in the meadow, right? Depending on what it was. So you can kind of play around with it. So notice I can click on that edit scene, right click edit scene. I can browse for the environment and locate, you should have an image for the toy car. That's the toy car background. Okay, so now if you add a new camera, you can adjust the scenery for your toy car, right?
How did you get to that, the scene, the toy car scene? I missed all that.
Okay, so you're going to go to your scene.
Okay.
You're going to go to your environment, right click, edit scene, and then locate that toy car image and bring it in.
Where is it?
It's where your toy car was in the same folder. So notice you can adjust by zooming in, zooming out, panning, using your camera. You can get it looking. Takes a little bit of, here and there. You can adjust things so you can kind of take a look at it. So let's go back to the toy car scene. So if you switch to the Advanced tab, you can set the environment rotation to like 180, and notice what it does to it basically turns everything upside down. Okay? You can adjust the width and the size. Okay, so you can get it down to like gets really fun, really fast. There.
It seems to be also JPEGs and things.
Right. Just any kind of image, any background image. You could have like the Louvre. Go on, it could be a beach. It could be wherever you want, right? Okay, so now to do your final rendering. Now the final rendering is going to take, it's going to take some time. So when you do your final rendering, once you've figured out your scenery and your lighting and your camera view and your materials, notice the steps we took. First you assign materials, right? So if that's your first step, then you get into your camera view, posing your model, then you add your background and you try and make it pop. Then you can do your final render. When you do your final render, and like I said, the final rendering can take a long time because it's got to analyze everything, right? You save it as a JPEG and then use that JPEG in your PowerPoint to show off to me all your fabulousness, right? Of course it's going to say not responding because it's got to sit there. All right, so when it's done, which in mine it's going to say a lot, it's going to take a long time. Yeah, tomorrow, probably tomorrow. Okay, when it's done, I can then save it, all right, as a JPEG using this menu over here. I save it, and then I can insert it into my PowerPoint. Yeah, and if you, this is one of those things where it's trial and error. The more you do it, the better you get at it. It kind of helps to have a photographer's eyes, you know, or an artistic bent, if you will, because it takes a lot of patience to get exactly the result you want. That's why I'm saying when you're creating your renderings, it's helpful if you have a computer nobody's at doing the rendering, so you can keep working on other stuff while it's doing this kind of processing, because it's going to take forever. Any questions about the renderings? Was this fun?
So basically, the only way you can say it is you do the final render.
You got to do the final render, and then when it's done, it'll let you save it as a JPEG. And then it might take, I got to tell you, sometimes it takes me 3 or 4 renderings before I get an image I like. And if you're going through that iterative process, it's really good not to change a bunch of stuff between iterations, because then you don't know what effect the stuff is having. It's better to do small tweaks. You know, change your material, change your lighting, change your perspective, change your scenery, one thing at a time, run a render, see if you like it, and then kind of build on your successes. Okay? Otherwise, you can spend a lot of time just chasing your tail. I can tell by the silence in the room that a lot of you have now been sucked in to the power of PhotoView 360, and you want to spend the rest of the evening exploring this fabulous interface. So we are in lab. Next class is animation.